Good morning. Well now, L'chaim, to life. One of the few Hebrew words I do know. L'chaim, to life. I wonder what happened to that old actor chap in Fiddler on the Roof. Yentov? They sing it there. I have a friend in Spain, and she's a married lady, but anyway, happily, etc., children almost grown up now, but two sort of late teenage daughters and an older son. And we got onto the subject of abortion, and of course, well, we got there through the new President of the United States of America, who is very much a practicing Roman Catholic. My friend is too. I'm not a Benedictine monk through the Roman Catholics. I am a Christian. And he is pro-abortion. So I've sort of looked into the figures a bit and this and that, and my background was medical. So from that perspective, there are implications of that Christ gave us the two commandments. So love God, love your neighbor as yourself. So you base all your decisions, both small but large, on that. So what is the loving thing to do in certain circumstances for a woman with a, I don't know, there can be complications, this and that, but I don't consider myself particularly a fundamentalist, but I guess this position is pretty fundamental. As far as I'm concerned, once the sperm hits the egg and it divides into 4 cells, therein is God. There is an human life. And in some few limited cases, it may be the loving thing to do, especially for the woman, if there are complications and so on, but not to use abortion as another form of contraception. This friend of mine reminded me of the day after pill. So you have a quick how's your father, and then, oh well, we don't want that then, oh dear, maybe yes, maybe no, and you abort basically with a pill, which I assume is the right hormones to do that. My medical training was quite a while ago. I'm 64 now, so I was actually originally training at Bristol University to be a medical doctor, and I started when I was 19 years old. The figures are horrendous: 40 to 50 million abortions per annum. We've already had 2.5 million this year alone, 2021. Those are human lives, potentially. I wouldn't be here. What if my parents, my mother in fact was a maternity sister, as it happens, and I was very much loved. I'm the second child. I have an older brother. I had older parents, so no doubt that would have been a consideration. I think I'm right. I was born in 56, my mother 1912, but I think I was just before her 44th birthday, so that must have been a consideration. For an older woman to have a child, but she wanted this second child, me. So I'm afraid you've got to put up with me. And then there's a wonderful film called Orgaurga, U-R-G-A, about this sort of Mongolian steppes, and it's got these long, slow shots, and the first time I watched it, it was, oh God, come on, to the cinematographer, or the director or whatever, get on with it. But actually, it is probably my most favourite film. Curious, isn't it? And the point why I mention it is their tradition is they all live sort of communally on the steppe, the Steppe, grasslands, very severe winters, and if you're making love to someone from the next door tribe, you have a long pole, I think, probably used for catching small creatures and so on, or spearing them or whatever, and you plant that, and that tells the surrounding peoples that, oops, they're at it again, or at it for the first time even, you never know. So wonderful, and the point towards the end of the story, the person telling it says, I'm here because. Well, my own son is dead, Robert Francis. He committed suicide at the age of 18. It was a broken marriage. My former wife had been sexually abused by her own father. I knew nothing about it. I've now learned rather more. And my position remains, I love my son, he's dead. You're not meant to commit suicide, so where is his soul? It is in God's hand. L'chaim, you see. I'm living for him too. Every single human being is precious and special in God's eyes, in God's hand, in God's world, in God's universe. So, no killing then, and that is pretty much accepted, although it isn't practiced, curiously, in the world. You don't kill, in the normal world. You get tried and convicted and imprisoned for killing someone. But that's not true. All the killing, who manufactured and sells the arms, etc., etc. I don't want to get off onto that. I've spoken elsewhere what I think about the arms trade, quite frankly. It's utterly appalling. So life is important, the most precious thing. We wouldn't be here otherwise. If men and women didn't get together, apart from Christ, who was of course a virgin birth, conceived by the Holy Spirit, but for the rest of us, nature requires a male and a female to get together, and then, I think I'm right, the phrase is, and two become one flesh. And then there's the family, which is a very important unit in this equation of a man and a woman and a child or children. And grandchildren and great-grandchildren, if you're so lucky. So, l'chaim, to life, l'chaim.